In this podcast episode, Bret Weinstein discusses his recent trip to the Darien Gap in Panama to observe the migration of people from South America to the United States. The Darien Gap is a treacherous jungle area where people face dangers such as robbery, rape, and death while trying to cross. Weinstein observed two distinct groups of migrants. One group primarily consisting of economic refugees seeking better opportunities, and another group of Chinese migrants who seemed organized and secretive. Weinstein highlights the lack of political asylum claims among the migrants, with most citing economic reasons for their journey. He also notes the Chinese migrants' reluctance to engage in conversation and the authorities' differential treatment of the two groups. The Chinese migrants appeared to be young, fit, and predominantly male, raising questions about their motives and the scale of their migration. Weinstein expresses concerns about the unregulated and poorly planned influx of migrants, emphasizing the need for a thoughtful approach to immigration. He criticizes the lack of integration efforts and the potential for cultural clashes if core values are not upheld. The conversation delves into the complexities of migration, the challenges of national identity, and the importance of addressing these issues to prevent societal discord. Weinstein talks about the organizations facilitating the movement of migrants from the Middle East to the United States. The migrants typically start their journey in Quito, Ecuador, due to the country's policy of not requiring visas. They then travel through Colombia and cross the Darien Gap into Panama, where they are provided with buses to continue their journey north. Weinstein highlights the international cooperation and coordination involved in this migration route, with various organizations playing a role in facilitating the movement of people. Weinstein delves into the concept of American values and how they relate to the political left and right. He argues that the core of Western values is based on the idea of collaboration and reciprocity, which transcends kin-based relationships. This ethos, exemplified by the American founding fathers, promotes the idea of working together for mutual benefit, regardless of genetic relatedness. He contrasts this with multiculturalism, which he sees as promoting the maintenance of separate cultural traditions within isolated pockets, rather than fostering a unified society based on shared values. Weinstein challenges the notion that mere economic opportunity will lead to peace. He argues that while economic success is important, it is the willingness to collaborate with others based on shared values that ultimately leads to a stable and dynamic society. He advocates for a system where everyone has access to economic opportunities and is rewarded for their contributions, creating a society where wealth is not evenly distributed, but where everyone has the chance to succeed. Weinstein explores the idea that different cultures may have varying orientations towards kin-based ethical systems versus abstract reciprocal altruism. He suggests that cultures can be placed on a continuum based on their propensity towards either kin-based allegiances or more abstract forms of collaboration. He hypothesizes that integrating cultures with strong kin-based systems may pose challenges, especially when dealing with individuals who exploit such systems for personal gain. He highlights the importance of understanding cultural orientations in the context of promoting collaboration and societal cohesion. Weinstein discusses the role of religious and mythological narratives in encoding patterns of behavior that promote collaboration and reciprocity. He references the story of Abraham as an example of sacrificial attitude that ensures the preservation of genetic material across generations. He emphasizes the importance of sacrifice as a form of work and collaboration, leading to long-term gains for individuals and communities. He suggests that religious narratives provide a framework for understanding and promoting behaviors that contribute to societal stability and progress. Weinstein introduces the concept of a hierarchy of concepts, where certain ideas are more dependent on others, similar to the hierarchy of genetic mutations in the genome. He explains that some beliefs are more fundamental and serve as the core foundation upon which other ideas rely. This hierarchy of dependency is crucial in shaping individual behavior and perception, as well as guiding societal norms and values. The discussion then shifts to genetic mutations and the role they play in evolutionary processes. Weinstein highlights the randomness of molecular alterations that facilitate mutations, noting that while mutations are random, there is a hierarchy of repairability in the genome. This hierarchy suggests that certain mutations are more easily repaired or tolerated than others, influencing the direction of evolutionary change. Drawing parallels between genetic mutations and cultural evolution, Weinstein suggests that culture operates as an epigenetic mechanism that is subservient to genetic ends. He raises concerns about the need to align cultural values with genetic imperatives to ensure the long-term survival and well-being of humanity. The conversation transitions to the role of religion in shaping cultural evolution and human behavior. Weinstein argues that religious beliefs serve as deep-seated principles that guide individual and collective actions, much like genetic mutations shape biological evolution. He emphasizes the importance of understanding the sacred and shamanistic aspects of religious traditions, where core beliefs are upheld while allowing for experimentation and adaptation on the fringes. Weinstein suggests that the current moment in history calls for a reevaluation of our ethical and moral frameworks, particularly in light of advancing technologies and global interconnectedness. The discussion touches on the need for conscious awareness and ethical decision-making to navigate the complex challenges facing humanity. Weinstein explores the concept of ethical consciousness and its role in addressing global issues such as climate change, political unrest, and technological advancements. He discusses the importance of collective responsibility and the need for individuals to consider the long-term consequences of their actions on future generations. The conversation delves into the dangers of unchecked power and the potential for catastrophic outcomes if ethical considerations are not prioritized. The discussion culminates in a call to action for individuals to engage in critical thinking, ethical reflection, and conscious decision-making. Weinstein and Peterson underscore the importance of aligning personal values with broader societal goals to create a more sustainable and equitable world. They emphasize the need for a shift towards a more compassionate and insightful approach to governance, technology, and cultural evolution.